Okay, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this exclusive and private VIP broadcast. My name is Darren Little from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, and today we've got a special treat for you today because there's a lot of people that are looking at Bitcoin right now, and they really don't know what's happening. They don't understand Bitcoin, they don't know what Bitcoin's about, and they don't know how to make money off of just not only Bitcoin, but how can you make real legitimate money from real legitimate Bitcoin businesses. Now, guys, you want to grab a pen and paper right now because you're going to want to take notes during this broadcast. I'm with my business partner, Ari Maccabee, right now. He's over in Manila. I'm actually right now in Los Angeles, California, and that's the power of the internet. You can literally take your laptop computer with a Wi-Fi connection, and you can totally have freedom. That means that anywhere in the world where there's Wi-Fi, you can run your business literally sitting by the pool, sipping on a pina colada. And I'm totally serious here because I actually do that once per year, and I take off to Maui, and I go for 2, sometimes 3 weeks. I just got back from the Philippines. I spent 2 months there, guys, 2 entire months. Now, what would it be like for you if you could pick up at any time and take off anywhere around the world that there's Wi-Fi and you could run an international business? So what I want to do right now is I want to just give you that little couple seconds here. Grab a pen and paper right now because you're going to want to take notes during this broadcast. Now, Ari, first of all, welcome to the call. It's great to have you here on the line with us. But what I want for you to do, Ari, is just share with people a little bit about, first of all, what is cryptocurrency and why is it a very viable way to make money right now with what's happening globally in the economy and what's happening with currency, and why is Bitcoin the high standard of what people can trust moving forward with some type of investment that they might make, as far as their portfolio?
Well, that's a really good question. Obviously, you opened up a lot of cans right there for me to jump through. So let's talk about what is crypto, guys, because here's the thing. Any reputable cryptocurrency that's on the marketplace, number one, is going to be listed on a public exchange and open for trade, because the supply and the demand for that coin is going to dictate the price. Now, as a whole, cryptocurrency, for the most part, is decentralized, meaning it's out of the control by governments. It's out of the control from banks. It's a beautiful situation that puts the power back in your hands where you can basically be your own bank. Now, let me tell you, Bitcoin in a nutshell, I got involved in it actually in early 2010. And in the spring of 2011, I actually opened up my first Bitcoin mine in my house. I had this little black box that I plugged in, and it would just continually run 24 hours a day. Ran up my electricity bill where it was like 3 or 4 times the price of my the normal cost, and it would mine Bitcoins day in, day out. That's all it did. Now, back in the day, it was really easy because the process of mining Bitcoin, so you guys understand, is basically solving an equation. But when it first started out, Bitcoin actually would give you an award of 50 Bitcoins when you solved the equation, so it was really profitable, but then it halved. And it cut down to 25, and now it just halved again. It cut down to 12 and a half. So the reality is the equation is getting longer, it's getting harder, and today, in order to mine it, you basically need a supercomputer because it's really a complex equation, guys. It's not very easy, to solve. What I like about it is the anonymous transactions, although they are recorded at blockchain.info, so you can actually look up a transaction and verify somebody actually sent you money. I also like the fact that you're in control of it. It can't be seized, or anything like that. It's a very simple process actually to set yourself up to where you're, outside the boundaries, of those that want to take your money from you at times. So it's a pretty simple process there, guys. It's got a lot of flexibility because now it's all over the world. I mean, if you look at currency, for instance, you got the dollar for the US, you got the euro for the European Union, you got the pound for Britain, here we got the Philippine peso, and every country basically has its own currency. But bigger than all the countries in the world is the internet, and the internet has Bitcoin. And, you know, when I first got involved, guys, very few people would take it for a transaction. No businesses would take it. Today, there's over 1 million businesses worldwide that actually accept Bitcoin as a form of payment. And now you've got countries, you know, like Japan, India, Russia, you know, that have actually legalized it and named it currency, while the U.S. is still kind of stuck, and they've actually labeled it a commodity and not an actual currency yet. So it's kind of a unique and tricky little thing to navigate, but we have, I believe, the best way to actually show you some of that stuff today and how you can navigate the stream and make sure you guys are, you know, doing what's right. So here's what I want to do. I want to actually open up a couple of websites so you can actually get to see firsthand what this stuff is. So let me load up and log into one of them real quick. And once I get logged in, I'll actually do a screen share with you guys and kind of show you how it all works, so you guys will understand.
Now, what I want to do here quickly here, if you want to just mute out Ari.
Okay.
You know, guys, what you really got to understand here is that I want to turn back the clock a little bit, and I want to share with you that, you know, I didn't really know anything about Bitcoin. Like, seriously, nothing, right? I'd heard about Bitcoin. I knew that Bitcoin was increasing in price. And I was working on a particular project, and the only way that the person could pay me was in Bitcoin. They were in a country where PayPal wasn't an option for them to be able to make a form of payment. So I took in a couple of transactions, and those transactions, the total of the transactions was maybe around $2,600 US, okay? And then converted into Bitcoin. And quite honestly, I just kind of forgot about it. You know, I mean, I carried on with the rest of my business, but I knew that I had, you know, $2,600 US worth of Bitcoin in a Bitcoin wallet, okay? So there's a number of different places where you can send and receive Bitcoin through a Bitcoin wallet, and you can just keep your Bitcoin in that wallet. It's kind of like a virtual bank, your own virtual bank. Now, what happened is about 6 months of time went by, and I just thought I would log into my virtual bank and check out my Bitcoin, because I was actually thinking at that time that I was going to transfer my Bitcoin, convert it into US dollars, and then transfer that money to my bank account, right? You know, I mean, I figured, oh, I've got $2,600 there. Maybe I'm going to use that for one of my advertising campaigns. So let's cash in on the Bitcoin. Now, here is what blew me away, guys, okay? I was shocked, okay? Shocked with what happened. I logged into my Bitcoin account, and that $2,600 had grown in value by an additional $5,000 US. I literally, my jaw dropped, okay? Because what I had in the account had now exponentially grown with this bigger amount of value, and it was spendable income, spendable. So there's a number of places just even on the internet where you can buy flowers with Bitcoin, you can order products with Bitcoin. Heck, you can buy real estate with Bitcoin. You can even go to Lamborghini at Newport Beach and buy a Lamborghini with Bitcoin, okay? Totally straight truth, guys. So Bitcoin is becoming a standard internationally, right, worldwide, where you can buy products and services using Bitcoin. Now, the power of this is that $2,600 that grew by an additional $5,000 US, that was now money that I could use for other transactions of products and services. So was that a good thing that I took that $2,600 in Bitcoin? Absolutely, because the $2,600 turned into $7,600, which was a triple, right? So what ended up happening was that I got a growth in that money based upon just the Bitcoin itself. It wasn't involved with any other type of a business opportunity. It wasn't involved with me going to recruit people. Just the actual value of the Bitcoin had tripled from what I had started with, which meant that I had 3 times the amount of money that I did before. Holy cow. So I started to put more money into Bitcoin. I started to just buy Bitcoin and put it in the Bitcoin wallet. And I watched it start to increase. Every time I would log into my Bitcoin account, it was worth more money. Now, if I had had that money, the $2,600 US that was sitting in a bank account, it would have been $2,600 US when I logged back in, right? Would have been the same amount of money. I might have had a little tiny fraction increased of interest, but the banks don't pay very big interest. Certainly not the type of gain that I achieved by having $2,600 in my Bitcoin account. So I want you to think about this. First of all, we're talking about 2 separate things sort of combined. When you purchase Bitcoin, they're projecting that just by the end of this year that Bitcoin could rise to $3,500 per coin. But longer term, they're saying could be 10,000. Some people are predicting it could go as high as $100,000 per coin. So now is a very good time to start to be thinking about the financial future for you and your family. You know, there was a time when there was a lot of activity going on in the .com era. I was one of those people that made a lot of money in the .com times. I rolled up multiple different companies, multiple different public companies, multiple different private companies. I raised tens of millions of dollars in that sector. And I was very fortunate because I found out about that launch curve before it went vertical, right? So that being on the front end, when you go into an exponential growth curve, is very, very important, guys, when it comes to making money and getting a return back on an investment, okay? So what I want to share with you here is that we're right at a time right now where Bitcoin is starting to become a household name. So that's the time now where it has a vertical zone. It has a vertical liftoff where some people will see their money double, triple, quadruple over a period of time just with the actual Bitcoin itself, okay? Forget about an actual business opportunity. I'm talking about just Bitcoin as a currency, okay, with an increased rise in value. As it becomes more mainstream, as it becomes more accepted worldwide, the value starts to increase more and more and more based upon supply and demand, okay? Like anything. So the more people that want it and the less people that want to get rid of it, the price starts to rise, right? Very similar to how the stock market might work. So the more people that want the stock with the less people that want to sell the stock, you know, it's almost like, well, I'll give you $1 per share. Well, I don't want to sell it. Well, how about $2 per share? I don't want to sell it. Well, how about $3 per share? I don't want to sell it. What about $5 per share, right? So between the supply on one side and the demand on the other side, that's what starts to drive up the price in stocks, currencies, things like that. Bitcoin works the exact same way. So it's very easy for you to be able to open up a wallet. You can do that for free and then start purchasing Bitcoin. There's various different places online that you can buy Bitcoin. There's places that we recommend where you can buy Bitcoin. If you start to do larger transactions, they require some identification, like your passport and confirmation of where you live with some utility receipts and things of that nature. But they want to make sure that they're dealing with legitimate people, right? Think about that. So you might want to do a wire transfer to purchase a larger amount of Bitcoin. But the Bitcoin itself, very important that you understand this when we're talking about Bitcoin and Bitcoin opportunities, because as you just have Bitcoin itself, it's increasing in value over time. And then also, if you're being paid in Bitcoin, is that those commissions are also increasing in value. So the first thing that I want to talk about, Ari, is, how does a person actually set up a Bitcoin wallet, and where can they buy Bitcoin? And also, let's talk about how you and I combined just in the last month, we're able to generate over $50,000, guys, this month in Bitcoin. Now, what would that be like for you and your family? Because here's the interesting thing. We didn't spend the $50,000, right? We made $50,000 combined between the two of us. Now, keep in mind, what we're going to be sharing with you today is one particular business opportunity called Cryp trade. And the thing that we really like about this particular program is that they're actually doing some land-based business through Bitcoin ATM machines. So Ari, share with us a little bit about that.
Here's what I'd like to do, actually, Darren. I'd like to take people on a little bit of a ride real fast. So what I'm going to do is share my screen real quick, and I want to play a video for you guys real quick that I created. And this is only a piece of it, but I think it'll help you guys get an understanding of what Bitcoin is and how you can make money with it. And then we'll cover those topics that you hit. Is that okay with you?
Sounds good.
Okay.
Time now I've had my eye on the cryptocurrency market, especially around Bitcoin. The reason being is quite simple. Even billionaires like Sir Richard Branson and Bill Gates are investing their own hard-earned money into Bitcoin and the technology around it, and I wanted to know why. What I found was truly remarkable. Bitcoin has been the #1 income-producing currency in the world for 3 years in a row, and it's still less than 10 years old. That means Bitcoin has made more money for people than any other type of currency in the world, including the US dollar, the British pound, and even the Chinese yuan. Today it's worth between $1,200 and $1,300 per Bitcoin, but as I've researched, I've read report after report stating that Bitcoin will rise in value and reach $2,000, then $3,000, then $5,000, then $10,000 in value or more. Let's pause for a second. Imagine you own 100 Bitcoin currently valued at $1,200. That's $120,000. But what happens if the value goes up and hits $10,000 as expected? That same Bitcoin would now be worth a whopping $1 million. You have to agree that's an incredible return on investment and some major moolah for anyone. And this is why the whole world has their eyes on Bitcoin right now. But in reality, most have no clue what it is or how it works. So today, I'm going to share with you some valuable information that could change your financial future almost immediately, as well as some information, folks, that could potentially make you a millionaire in the very near future. So grab a pen and piece of paper and follow along as I explain this in layman's terms so it's easy to understand and simple to grasp. Then at the end, I'll review a couple of opportunities that might very well be the holy grail of online income generation for all. Right now, you probably want to know, what is Bitcoin? Well, think of it like this. The United States has the US dollar. England has the British pound. The European Union has the euro, and every single country on earth has their own form of currency under its own name, and so does the internet. That's Bitcoin. It's a digitalized currency that's now accepted at over 1 million businesses worldwide and growing. In fact, the United States made it a commodity in 2015, and now Japan, Russia, Romania, and many countries around the world have even recognized it as a currency, and more countries are following suit, which will drive up the value and the price of Bitcoin, making Bitcoin itself the greatest opportunity for investment on earth. Over the last few years, it's become easier and easier to acquire Bitcoin online as well as locally throughout the world through an ever-growing Bitcoin ATM network where you can walk up, insert your money, and receive Bitcoin in mere minutes. So how's the value of Bitcoin determined? Like the stock market, Bitcoin price fluctuates according to supply and demand. As supply dwindles, the price will continue to increase, eventually hitting the $10,000 per Bitcoin value that experts have stated, and then it will go even higher. This is precisely why Bitcoin is finally now on the path to going mainstream all over the world, and exactly why Bitcoin is my #1 choice for investment over and above anything else on the planet. Investing in Bitcoin is just one of 3 ways that you can make money with Bitcoin. The other 2 ways are Bitcoin mining and cryptocurrency trading. Bitcoin mining involves the use of supercomputers, which are constantly mining for Bitcoin, which basically means they're in the process of solving complex equations, and whichever person or mining pool that solves the equation is awarded a block of Bitcoin. Currently, there are 17 million Bitcoins that have been mined, and as each day goes by, it gets harder and harder to mine Bitcoin, which is great for people like us that invest in Bitcoin, because that means the supply is getting harder to find, and that's driving the price up, creating more profit for you and I and everyone involved. In other words, if you were part of a Bitcoin mining pool that was operating the supercomputers and were creating new Bitcoins almost out of thin air, you'd be making free money just for participating. That's one of the easiest ways to profit from Bitcoin. And in 2140, when all 21 million Bitcoins have been mined, the opportunity to profit from Bitcoin mining will forever come to an end. That gives us our lifetime and the lifetime of our children, and maybe even the lifetime of our children's children, to profit from this amazing industry. In a few minutes, I'm going to review an opportunity that I've been part of now for 3 years, and the one that you will be able to pass down from generation until all 21 million Bitcoins have been mined. This is an opportunity that could literally make you worth millions of dollars that has already done so with so many involved. The third and final way to profit from Bitcoin is through cryptocurrency trading, which is a lot like the stock market, where you invest your money and then trade your money for stocks listed on the exchange. With cryptocurrency trading, you invest your Bitcoin into a Bitcoin exchange and then trade them for other types of currency in order to generate a profit. You basically buy alternative cryptocurrencies, or altcoins, when the price of Bitcoin is high and the price of the altcoins are low, and buy Bitcoin when the price drops and the price of the altcoins go up. For the average user, this can be a complicated art, and like most who invest, they work with a trader or an investment company to do this for them, so they avoid making bad decisions that could cost them thousands of dollars. I mean, let's face it, if you don't know what you're doing, you don't want to lose your money. Today, I'll also be reviewing a company that has been doing this successfully and has a track record of generating anywhere from 17 to 27% on your investment every 30 days. In my first week, I've generated an insane amount of profit from this company simply by sitting back and letting the traders work for me. And I'm going to show that to you today live. I'll even share my strategy to help you understand how to make the most from these 2 opportunities, working them hand in hand at the same time. For now, just click the next step button below and watch the video. And at the end, I'll give you my...
Okay, let me stop sharing, guys. Okay, so now you guys got a good understanding of what Bitcoin is in itself, and you kind of can see how it works. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you how basically people trade cryptocurrency, so you get a firm understanding of how that works. So let me share my screen. I'm going to take you actually over to one of a Bitcoin exchange or cryptocurrency exchange. So this is Bittrex, so you guys know. Okay, Bittrex has been around for a while. It's one of the most trusted actually in the marketplace. Let me see if I can actually go to the homepage so you guys see what it looks like. This is actually one of the ones I really like, guys. I use Bittrex. I use livecoin.net, Polynex, and you know, a few others. But when you go inside the exchange, basically, you're going to see. Whoops! Hold up a second. I knew I was going to do that. Hold up one second. When you guys go inside the exchange, what you're going to actually see is you're going to see the different coins that are available in the markets. So, you know, like Ripple. Ripple's been making a lot of waves lately. Okay, so Ripple's actually up right now 13.5%, but it's actually skyrocketed. It's actually up even higher than that. But in the last 24 hours, it's up 14%. Okay, Digibyte right now is up 91% in 24 hours. And so you can see how this is. But when it comes to trading, how does an ordinary person figure out what's good and what's bad and how to trade for it? This is where it becomes complicated. This is where people have a hard time, you know, figuring out what to do and what to put their money in. And this is where you can lose a lot of money. So most people choose, like an investment broker, to seek out a company that actually does this. Now, we'll tell you this marketplace for cryptocurrency trading is massively unregulated. I want you to know that going into it. That means there's a little risk to it, but here's the reality. Okay, when you have a company that actually has a track record and is willing to show you proof of work, you're pretty much in a safe situation. And I'm going to prove that to you today. Okay, the other thing you want to understand about cryptocurrency is a little website called CoinMarketCap. Okay, if you don't know what this is, CoinMarketCap actually shows you how much money is in cryptocurrency today. So Bitcoin is, our CoinMarketCap shows $61 billion, over $61 billion, almost $62 billion today in cryptocurrencies. Now that's huge, guys, because that means people are trading fiat currencies like the dollar, the pound, the Philippine peso, all these currencies for cryptocurrency. They're exiting the banking system. And that's important because, again, it puts the power back into your hands. And if you notice, the 24-hour volume is up $2,321,000, guys. That's crazy. Okay, Bitcoin has actually set a record today, 1833.48 for the price, and they actually own $29 billion of the coin market cap. They're obviously the highest. They've been around the longest. But you can see over here what's happened. It's a little volatile. Now, that might scare some people. People look at the volatility of it and they think, oh my gosh, it's up and down, they get worried about it. But here's the reality. When I made that video that I just showed you guys, Bitcoin was actually around $1,220 some dollars. It went up $600 bucks. So is it a little volatile? Yeah, but you know what? That also allows for huge profit swings for people that are doing trading and allows for a lot of income to be made, a lot of income. Okay, now Ripple has just overtaken Ethereum again for the number 2 spot. Ethereum's been number 2 consistently. In the last couple weeks, actually, Ripple's actually crossed paths with Ethereum 3 times, and this time it may very well be for good, guys, because you can see the value of it right now. It is up $6 billion over Ethereum. That's huge. Okay, now there's a lot of good coins on this, and I actually own quite a few of these coins, and I'm constantly always looking to buy new ones, but you want to be safe. So here's the reality. Anytime you go to a website, let me open up Bittrex one more time because I want to show you a little trick. Anytime you want to know if a cryptocurrency is real, all you got to do is go right here and type it in this little spot. So for instance, there's a token out that's called OneCoin, and everybody keeps bragging it's like the next Bitcoin. It's been around now 3 years, but here's the deal. When you search for it, you notice it's nowhere to be found. When you search right here on the Ethereum market, okay, same thing, you're going to find out. It's not nowhere to be found. Let me go on down. Okay, so look up OneCoin, nowhere. It's nothing. It's not a real coin, guys. This is the reality. If it's not publicly traded, it's not something you want to put your money in. Okay, it's also not listed on CoinMarketCap. That's the other thing you can look to see if you're safe and you're actually purchasing something that's real. Now, I've got some coins here that I do like, and we'll talk about some of those, but in reality, I want to talk today mainly about Cryp Trade Capital. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. Actually, I haven't shown this to anybody yet, so I'm going to open up a video, and I'm actually going to play this for you guys live. You're going to get the chance to see it right out of the gate. Nobody's seen this yet. This is a review I did on Cryp Trade Capital, and at the end, I'm going to play a video that came from corporate headquarters showing their trading software, their trading logs, everything. So you're going to be able to see everything 100% transparent. So here goes.
Hello and welcome back to the Crypto Kingdom Review for part 2. What I'm going to do now is show you a PowerPoint presentation created by Cryp Trade Capital. Then when done, I'll share my screen and show you some actual proof I received when my partner visited their corporate office. At the end, I'll share with you what I've been able to accomplish in my first 30 days of testing. First, enjoy the presentation and I'll wrap this up in a few moments. Cryp Trade Capital, make a step into innovation with us. Money evolution. Throughout the whole history during the development of market relations, money has been constantly evolving and changing its form, becoming equivalent to traditional values of its time. First, it began with rocks, then gold, then coins, then paper currency, then credit cards, and today it's Bitcoin. Financial crisis, constantly bankrupting banks and companies along with layoffs and cuts are always present around us. For instance, if you look back in time, you'll see Greece actually had a huge financial collapse. When that happened, the banks actually seized all the money within the banks, forcing people into foreclosure and bankruptcy in the country of Greece, which resulted in a huge European bailout. The first world cryptocurrency has been Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin in the very beginning was highly volatile. It started out in 2009, and you can see it went through many ups and downs, causing, a huge volatility in the market. But today, one Bitcoin is actually worth $1,222 when this presentation was made, and actually today it's worth over $1,700. The advantages of Bitcoin: number one, impossible forgery, anonymous transactions. It actually has high volatility, which allows for huge profit margins. There's absence of intermediaries. Why is that important? Because that means you have minimum fees. You don't have companies on the inside like a bank that's doing a bank wire charging you a fee, or PayPal charging you a fee, or any of these other companies like Western Union and Payeer, and MoneyGram. I mean, there's so many of them throughout the world. This actually eliminates the need for the middleman and allows you to pay a minimum fees, keeping most of the money between you and the party you're transferring to. Bitcoin, Zcash, Ethereum, Ripple, Litecoin, Dash, Ethereum Classic, NIM, Monero. There's so many cryptocurrencies on the market today, almost 1,000 cryptocurrencies available, but Bitcoin is leading the way and still number one. Coin market capitalization actually shows that there's $25 billion in cryptocurrencies, and Bitcoin itself holds over $20 billion of that, while the altcoin market is just $4.9 billion. One Bitcoin, when this presentation was made, was at $1,228.82. Today, it's over $1,700 just a few weeks later. You can see why the coin market capitalization actually keeps growing, okay? Available stock of Bitcoins right now is 16,283,412 Bitcoins. Remember, there are only going to ever be 21 million Bitcoins on the face of the earth. If you notice, one Bitcoin exchange rate on 4/23/2016 was $450.56. 1 year later, it was $1,228.82. And just a few weeks later, it's now over $1,700. Ethereum currently is valued on the 23rd of April at $49.29, and today it's actually over $100. The coin marketization cap on that is $4.5 billion, and there's over 90 million Bitcoin, or 90 million Ethereum actually available on the market. 1 year ago, on 4/23/2016, Ethereum was actually priced at $8.29. On 4/23, it was $49.29, and today it's hovering between $90 and $100, just a few weeks later. Monero. One Monero is actually worth $19.96. The market capitalization is $286 million. Available stocks, 14,346,362 coins on the market. On 4/23/2016, it was worth just $1.03. 1 year later, $19.96. And today, just a few weeks later, almost $25. Dash. Dash is actually valued on 4/23/2017 at $69.25, with a coin market capitalization of $505,660,985. Available Dash coins right now are 7,249,547 coins. One Dash coin on 4/23/2016 was worth just $6.50, and 1 year later, $69.75, and today, just a few weeks later, already over $75. Okay, companies that are backing cryptocurrency, and especially Bitcoin: Microsoft, including Bill Gates, IBM, Apple, PayPal, Dell, Bloomberg, Google, Bing, Mozilla, Intel, Cisco, NASDAQ, American Express, WordPress, Dish, Expedia, Reddit, Revel. There's so many companies, guys, that are coming on, and so many publications putting out news today about Bitcoin and about cryptocurrency in general. This is something you just don't want to miss. So how do you make money with cryptocurrency? It's absolutely a new kind of earnings with endless opportunities and incredible advantages over all other investments. First off, as I said earlier in our previous video, there's 3 ways of actually making money with cryptocurrency, okay? You can actually do mining, you can buy it and hold on to it, and you can do cryptocurrency trading. Now, with cryptographic trading, there's really 3 ways to make income within that little space, which is long-term storage, that's the buying and holding, actively trading for a profit, and then putting it into trust management. With Cryp Trade Capital, they already have innovative trade tools at your fingertips, and they are registered in Alicante, Spain. So all laws that are applicable to Alicante, Spain are actually applicable with this company and this opportunity. The main office, as I said earlier, is in Alicante, Spain, and I will show you proof of that in just a little bit. The company structure, they actually have management, which is the board of directors. They have a manager or a CEO. They have capital management, which are all the traders, project development department, a technical department. They have accounting, customer support, and legal department. And I will tell you, so far from my interaction, their customer support has been far superior to anything else I've seen on the market. Company geography. You know, let's talk about the companies right now that are invested heavily into Cryp Trade Capital, okay? They've actually had $32 million invested in 33 different companies, and Germany's been leading the way at 25.8%. Switzerland at 5.7%, Spain at 5.3%, United Kingdom at just 4.4%, Russia at 4.4%, France at 4.3%, Austria at 4%, Italy at 3.9%, the USA at just 2.8%, Turkey at 2%, Poland at 1.8%, and India at 1.8%. Now, if you're in the US or from the US like I am, that should leave you, knowing that it's wide open. There's a lot of opportunity here for growth. Okay, the company products that they offer currently, obviously, Bitcoin ATM machines, credit cards, online trading, and investment portfolios. And I'm going to show you more about this. They offer 3 different investment portfolios, the standard, the mega, and the VIP. Okay, a standard investment is actually from $50 to $49.99 and pays 17.7% per month or 215.35% per year. You get paid 2 times per month, and you actually get paid daily accruals as well, but they're available for withdrawal 2 times per month. And your investment period is locked for 365 days. On the mega, that's $5,000 to $9,999. It pays 23.7% per month or 28.35% per year. Same scenario, you get daily accruals that are paid out 2 times per month, and the investment's locked for 365 days. VIP packages range from $10,000 to $20,000 and pay 29.7% per month, 361.35% per year. And you get daily accruals, but here they only pay you 1 time per month after the 30th of the month. Anytime after the 30th, it's available for withdrawal, and your investment's locked for 365 days. So let's look at some scenarios. Here's a portfolio calculation example. If you were to put in $1,500 on a standard package, you would actually make $265.50 per month, or $3230.25 over the year. Okay, mega package, if you put in $7,000, you're going to make $1,659 per month, or $20,184.50 over the course of a year. If you put in $14,000 on a VIP investment, you're going to make $41.58 per month and $50,589 per year. Now that's amazing, guys. It's over 3 times what you put in. Payment instruments. Currently, you can actually join Cryp Trade Capital with Bitcoin, Ethereum, Perfect Money, or Advanced Cash. And for U.S. users, they will be adding Payoneer, Pays in the very near future. They do have a massive affiliate program. Their affiliate program basically gives you all the marketing solutions that will allow you to become a partner with individual program and a generous encouragement, guys. They paid very well. Here's what it looks like. Okay, as you join, you become an investor, you have to put a minimum of $50 into the company. Anybody that you sign up, you actually make 7%. You can see that right here. Okay, when you become an agent, that means you have a $50 personal investment, okay? You have $1,000 in personal turnover from your frontline team. You get a $100 bonus, and they open up the second level at 5%. Okay. As a senior agent, you still have a personal deposit of just $50. Your team now is invested over $5,000, and you get a $350 bonus, and it opens up your third level, which pays you again 3%. Your managing director, you have a $50 deposit still. Your team now has grown to $25,000 in volume, and you get a $1,000 bonus, and you actually qualify at the fourth level. You get 2% on overrides. Sapphire, personal deposit now of $1,000. You can do that out of profit. Your personal turnover on your team is over $100,000. Your award for attaining this status is $6,000, guys, and it opens up a fifth level override of 1.5%. As a Ruby, you have a personal deposit of $5,000, and your team has grown to $500,000 invested. Your award for obtaining this status is $30,000, which opens up your sixth level and pays you a 1% override. As an Emerald, you have a personal deposit of $10,000, and you actually have a personal turnover of your team of $1 million, which pays you a $60,000 bonus and opens up the seventh level of overrides at 0.5%. As a Diamond, you actually qualify when you have $20,000 personally invested. You have a personal turnover from your team of $3 million, and they give you a $180,000 bonus. Now, my friend hit this actually in his first few months, and then it opens up the eighth level, which pays you a 0.5% override. Now, the same friend I was just talking about, guys, just hit this blue diamond. He's got a personal deposit of $40,000. His team has hit $10 million in overrides or personal turnover, and he made a $360,000 bonus, earning him over $1 million in just his first 6 months inside this company. Now, once you hit Blue Diamond, there are no more overrides. They just give you the bonus money. When you hit Black Diamond, you have a $60,000 personal investment. Your personal team gets personal turnover from your team is $30 million, and it pays you a $720,000 bonus. Payment instruments, when you join Cryp Trade and you want to get paid, they'll pay out through Bitcoin, Ethereum, Perfect Money, and Advanced Cash, and soon, as I said earlier, they'll be adding pays up for U.S. residents. After seeing the Cryp Trade Capital presentation myself, I admit my curiosity was piqued, but I was more than a little skeptical. You know the old saying, if it sounds too good to be true, then it probably is. So I requested proof of work and hard evidence from a buddy I both knew and trusted. Luckily, he was willing to make the trip to corporate headquarters and check things out in person. This is what he found. A beautiful office inside and out, where they held a live event called the Cryp Trade Congress and invited people from all over the world. Over 250 people attended and gave away some industry goodies, including portable Bitcoin wallets and more. They also explained their trading strategy and showed off their trading software. They also showcased some of their future plans, which include a Bitcoin ATM network. Now, I admit it, this was something that really impressed me, and here's why. It showed me without a shadow of doubt that this company had long-term intentions. Let's face it, scam companies don't add things that tie them down, so I was really beginning to believe. I needed to know if people were really investing their money and making it back, so I asked for proof. He showed me his own investment of $10,000 and another of $2,004, and they were already earning and receiving SMS notifications each time they made money throughout the day. With all this evidence, I was convinced enough to give it a try with my own money. The following segment details my own personal experience. Welcome back. What I'm going to do now is show you my personal results actually from testing over the last 35 or 36 days. Okay, so you guys know, since I started this, I've actually made $1,158 passively. That means without sponsoring a single soul, I made $1,158. So if you're the type of person who can use an extra $1,000 a month, I think I found the right opportunity for you guys. I've never seen anything this easy. Okay, by sharing this review video with other people, I've actually made another $21,000 in my partner earnings, meaning in my overrides from the comp plan. How did that happen? Over 3,021 people visited my website, my link. 320 of them signed up, which resulted in that amount of income. So how did I get to the passive earnings? let's take a look. I joined this back on March 26th with $1,000. When you click on the transaction button, it will open up this page and it will show you, as agreed, they have paid me $5.90. You'll see that right here. This is my profit, $5.90 every single day since the very first day that I've joined. Okay, in fact, guys, I liked this opportunity so much. After putting $1,000 in and testing it, I did something I've never did before. I actually went and dropped another $5,000 in on April 21st. Okay, here's what's happened with that so far. They paid me $39.50 off that investment every single day since the day that I have joined. It has been absolutely phenomenal. I haven't seen anything that pays like this passively anywhere on the planet, guys, okay? If you join this company and you decide to invest, this is how simple it is, okay? If you decide you want to come in with $50 to $49.99, okay, that's the standard package. They're going to pay you 0.59% profit per day, 17.7% per month, 215.35% per year. If you join the mega package, which is $5,000 to $9,999, they pay you 0.79% profit per day, 23.7% per month, 288.35% per year. Okay, if you buy the VIP from $10,000 to $20,000, they pay you 0.99% per day, 29.7% per month, or 361.35% per year. Now, just for comparison's sake, I'm going to show you a live scenario, and I'm actually going to use the VIP package because I want to show you and teach you something that I think is very effective. You know, I don't like risk, guys. That's just my personal opinion. So what I encourage anybody, if you're going to join this, you want to work it backwards. And here's what I mean by that. Okay, if you actually join this for $10,000, they're going to pay you $99 a day. Well, basic math. If it was $100, it would take you 100 days to get your money back, but it's only 99. So that means it's going to take you 101 days to earn $10,000 back at $99 a day. So after 99 days or 101 days, guys, you could actually take out your entire original deposit through profit, and then it would continue to earn you another $26,135 for a grand total of $36,135. 361.35% on your money. I've never seen anything like this, but what I can promise you this is this company pays as agreed. I'll see you on the next video, guys. Go ahead and click the button below the video, and I'll see you on the next.
Okay, guys, let me share one more thing with you real quick, and I'm going to actually mute this and walk you through it because it's actually partially in a foreign language. My business partner, so you guys know, is based in Germany. And he's the guy, Sergey Hex. The guy's made over $1 million already in this company in his first 5.5 months, basically. But I want to show you something here because they started showing actually their trading software in this. And what's really impressive is the company's only been open 6 months. However, they've been trading almost 2 years. And what they show you actually in this demo right here, when they're doing all of this, and they're showing you the actual trade logs right here, guys. They start to show the trade logs. This, to me, is important because I've seen companies show me trading on their software, but they've never shared trade logs. The reason this is important because you can't fake this. This is one of the most important parts of the entire equation. When you see this, this is proof. This is actual proof of wins and losses, and they're averaging a huge amount of profit, guys. And I'm actually going to show you that too real quick. I'm going to come over to my Cryp trade account. I'm going to come to my investments. I may need to log back in, so hold up a second. But you're going to see something, guys. It's really going to blow your mind. So here's the thing. On the $100 deal, I'm going to open up this transactions over here, or the $1,000 investment. I want you to see something, okay? So here they made $11.80 off my money, paid me $5.90. This one, they had a bad day, made $5.90, paid me $5.90. Here, though, they made $88.50, paid me my $5.90. Here they made $82.60, paid me my $5.90. Made $76.70, paid $5.90. They're making massive amounts of money on our profit. Now, obviously, when a company is this flush in the profit, it makes sense that they're going to be around for a while. Here's the other side of it. This one might be a little mind-boggling, guys. it makes you want to learn how to trade on your own. I'm just going to tell you up front. They make 118.50, paid me 39.50. Did 79, paid me 39.50. Bad day, which is, you know, same day that we had just a while ago. But here they made 553, paid me 39.50. 513, paid me 39.50. I'm averaging about 10% of their actual profit. That is huge, because that tells you that this company can actually stay around. They can stay in business. This is a long-term opportunity, guys. What I've seen inside this business by far, I mean, you saw the video. Just so you know, the video was made literally less than 1 full day ago, or a little bit more than 1 full day ago. Here's the cool part. My earnings have already jumped up another $1,700 here, and my passive earnings again have jumped up here. And that's not including, guys, all my withdrawals. I want you to see this, actually. I want you to see my my billing. Actually, I think it's on the billing page. Hold up 1 second here. I want you to see actually the money that I've actually withdrawn out of this company. Okay, so this is a replenish. Okay, so this one is actually, you'll see my withdrawals, I believe, right here. Here it is, 1770 in a withdrawal, 1158 in a withdrawal already. Okay, now all of a sudden, check this out. You're going to see even more of them as I get down to the bottom of the page. Let me see if I can move this up so I can see the actual tabs at the bottom. Okay, I got to go back over to the other page. So hold up 1 second, guys. I want you to see these transactions. This is absolutely mind-boggling what you're going to see, because I've never made money this fast in something that's passive, ever. Okay, there was the 1770 for my passive, or for my active earnings, I should say. That's for my team overrides. And I think I just saw one more here. So hold up a second. There's another $5,244 in there. And there's one more in here for $94.86 actually in my withdrawals that you'll see on another page. And I'm going to bring you back here so I can actually show that to you. I've never made money this fast. I mean, it's just blown my mind what I've seen in it. Actually, it's not loading right now, guys, but I will actually have to do this again, Darren, because I want them to see that 94.86, the withdrawal. I'm just telling you, what I've seen with this company has been nothing short of mind-boggling. I mean, it's been very, very, very simple. So here's the deal. First step, you got to set up a Bitcoin wallet. I'm going to encourage you guys to use either uphold.com, coinsbank.com, or blockchain.info/wallet. Okay, that's where I would actually set up your wallet. Okay, the next step is to buy Bitcoin, and I'm actually going to share my screen again, and I'm going to show you guys a couple things that you can actually use. If you're in the United States, this is the only service you're going to need. Okay, it's called Gemini.com. It's based in New York. It's actually backed by it's owned by the Winklevoss twins that actually had a hand in starting Facebook. And it's also FDIC insured. This company right here is crazy. My buddy just bought $100,000 in Bitcoin through this company. It's very simple. You just register an account right here. Once you fill out and you register all of this, you're going to have to go through identity verification because they want the KYC or the Know Your Customer stuff. Very simple to set up, though. The other way you can buy Bitcoin, and this is a little more anonymous, is by using what we call coinatmradar.com. Coinatmradar.com. Now, if you go here, you're going to see there's 768 Bitcoin ATMs in the United States, 159 in Canada, 66 in the United Kingdom. Spain's got 34, Austria's got 24, and then there's more all around the world. But I'm just going to use California now, for example. So I'm not for sure actually where you guys out there that are watching basically live. But let's just talk, let's talk, I mean, well, here, look at this right here, 195, okay, 2, 4, 55 in Michigan, 90, 8, 16, 94. I mean, guys, this is crazy. I never seen anything like this, okay? Let's just go on down and see where you can see. So Birmingham has 5, Huntsville's got 1, Phoenix, Arizona's got 12, Los Angeles got 78, Sacramento got 10, San Diego has 10, San Francisco's got 19, San Jose's got 4. Denver has 11. Jacksonville got 4. Miami 48. Orlando 4. Tampa. I mean, you get my point, guys. Look at this. They're all over the place. And here's the crazy part. Okay, I have a buddy of mine. He's up in Oregon. He calls me and says, "All right, he lives down in Salem, which is about 45 minutes from Portland." He says, "I need to buy Bitcoin. How can I buy it?" I said, "Man, go to Portland. Go to the ATM and buy it." And he actually shot a video of himself actually taking the money out. They bought $10,000 in Bitcoin, got it instantly from the ATM. I'm telling you right now, this is getting easier and easier and easier to buy Bitcoin, guys, to buy into crypto. This is a beautiful opportunity, and it's one you really don't want to miss. You know, Darren, anything else that we have missed, anything here at all? You know, obviously, guys, if you want to do trading, I'm just going to encourage you. You know, we can teach you in the Crypto Kingdom group. We can teach you some of this stuff, but here's the thing. You know, Crypt Trade Capital is going to do it for you. They're the experts at it. You saw the profit. They're literally making 90% on our money, okay? That's just absolutely crazy. That ought to tell you that the company itself is profitable. They can stay in business and be open for a long time. The fact that they've actually launched a Bitcoin ATM network, that's going to tell you their growing roots are going to be here for a long time. You know, I don't know, Darren, have we missed anything at all?
Well, you know, I think the important thing to understand here, guys, is that, you know, when you lock arms with 7-figure income earners, we go out and we do the front end due diligence, right? Because like Ari was mentioning earlier, we don't like to take risks personally ourselves, okay? We don't. That's one thing that you'll notice about successful people is that they look at the risk and the reward and then they make a decision. Successful people typically make decisions quite quickly. Once they do their due diligence, then they make the decision. They're either in or they're out, okay? So what we do is we go out and we do a lot of that front end due diligence, okay? So we actually sent somebody to the corporate office. We wanted to see that the office was real, that it didn't look like it was a fly-by-night organization, that they had real software, that they were doing real trading, okay? Real crypto trading. Now, I'm going to share with you guys this. There are a lot of programs out there right now that tell you that they're doing that on the front end with this big, huge facade, but they don't want you to know the company owner name. They won't show you any type of trading records or anything that's legitimate. So those are called Ponzi schemes. So what they're doing is they're going to give you a guaranteed amount of return on your money, but that money is being paid by the new people that are putting money in. So they take in new money on the front and they just pay out returns on the back. Now, at a certain point of time, if there's not enough money coming here on the front end, the whole thing blows up, right? So the first thing that they typically will say is, oh, we're having a problem there with our, you know, with our transaction, you know, processing or something. They give you some sort of BS story as to why you can't get paid, right? Or they'll hold it into a digital zone and show you in your back office that you have a certain amount of money when it's all BS, okay? It's fake. So we want to make sure that when we're talking about something, that we're talking about a real, legitimate company that has real offices, that you can meet real people, real executives with the company that are doing real presentations right there at their corporate office where they're showing real software, real trading records so that you can see the profits and the losses, right? That's legitimate, right? But when you don't have any of that, when a company has to hide behind a facade, guys, that is called a Ponzi scheme. And what happens with that, as people start showing the amounts of money that they're making, people start coming in with really big money, okay? So they might put in 50,000 or 100,000 or $250,000 thinking that they're gonna double their money in a 90-day period of time. And then all of a sudden, the whole thing completely blows up. And we don't want to be in a situation where, you know, some old lady that puts in her entire life savings thinking she's going to double her money in 90 days, all of a sudden is SOL and she has lost her entire life savings. And that happens, guys. It's like Bernie Madoff, right? It really does happen. And we try to do everything that we can on our side to educate the public on, if there's no track record, if there's no actual transactions where a company will actually show you what they're doing, show you their software, show you how it works. If they're hiding behind a mask, you better believe that it's a Ponzi scheme, right? Because Any company that's legitimate is transparent. Okay, that's why you will see Ari and I, when we talk about real businesses, we log right in and we show our actual results. Okay, we show okay, here's how long we've been with the program. Here's how much traffic, people that went to a page. Now, I will share with you guys that my conversion rates are almost identical to what Ari's are, okay? Almost identical. So for the amount of people that come to the link, it's typically right around 10% that are enrolling, that are getting active in the program, right? So and I haven't run any paid traffic or anything, okay? I'm talking about just directly from my Facebook wall and directly from my personal development group, okay? So those are just people that are, sort of virally clicking the link and going to the page. So if we're getting that type of conversion rates, and my numbers are coincidentally almost identical to Ari's, right? And I'm now on my, I think, third payout, right, that I've had, and I've actually just put it back in myself, right? Ari's taken some money out. I've just put it back in, right? Because I'm going to go longer term, right, with this program. And the profits that coming in, I'm repurchasing. Profits are coming in every 2 weeks. It's the beginning of the month and halfway through the month that you get your payout. I'm just repurchasing that back into the program. So I got to be pretty darn confident long term that it's a good program. Otherwise, why would I do that, right? Think about that. So what we do on Facebook, and anytime that we do any type of leadership or training, what we do is we want to share real facts with you, okay? Not speculation, not what if, like here's the possibilities. We want to share with you actual data, real results, real track record, real profits. I believe that's the best way as a marketer, is to be completely transparent. So if we do something where we roll out a campaign and we maybe spend $1,000, we will share with you, here's what we spent, here's how many leads that we generated, here's how many people converted to actually become part of the program, and here's how much money we either made or lost. Is that fair, guys? I mean, wouldn't you like to get that type of data, right? When you're working with leaders, right? A lot of leaders, what they do is they just show you how much money that they're making over here, right? They don't tell you that half that money they spent on paid traffic, right? So let's say that a leader says, "Oh, I made $250,000." They don't tell you that they spent 125,000 of that on paid traffic or on an ad campaign. They're just out on the front end telling you how much money that they made. And for me, I believe that that's it's very deceptive. It's a deceptive marketing strategy, because they're not sharing with you the actual data with their profit and loss, and they keep it a secret as to what's going on behind this veil, right? They don't share with you. We go completely transparent. So we show all of our campaigns that we use. We show you all the copy that we write. We show you the actual graphics that we use on our posts and how we actually make those graphics. Some of the graphics we just make using PowerPoint, which will teach you how to do. And other graphics we have our graphic designer do, which we also share with you, right? So either way, you're going to learn new skills that can increase your value to the marketplace. And that's important, guys. You got to understand that in any type of marketing, if you want to increase your income to higher levels. So if you say, Darren, I want to make $50,000 a month. Darren, I want to make $100,000 a month. You better be ready to roll up your sleeves and learn some new skills, right? It's no different than working at your job. So if you want to get a pay raise, you want to get a job promotion, you typically have to upgrade your skills to a higher level to get the pay raise. Or you get the promotion, but now you're going to go through more training so that you can increase skills for that particular position. Maybe they give you more responsibility, maybe they give you a bigger territory, but with that comes also more skills that you have to learn in order to be able to get the pay raise in the first place, right? Think about it. That's the real world, guys, okay? So what I want for you to understand is this. Ari and I have both made millions and millions of dollars, okay? I've raised tens of millions of dollars, okay? Myself personally, okay? Not with a bunch of other people, just me going out to the marketplace and raising venture capital, okay? So I'm talking about private companies, my own companies, public companies. I've taken companies personally myself all the way up to $100 million market cap, okay? And we're going to share with you those. We're going to share with you all of the strategies that we personally use ourselves, okay? Not somebody else, not, concept, not what if. We're going to share with you the actual campaigns that we launch, the actual copy, the actual graphics. Where do we post that? How have I been able to, with no marketing, no marketing budget, I'm talking free strategies, take my Facebook? So I've got almost 5,000 friends, but I've got almost 18,000 followers just from my regular Facebook page. Okay, I'm not talking about a fan page. I'm not talking about boosted posts. I'm not talking about going out and doing little ads. I'm talking about free strategies. How could we help people as young as 17 years old make $35,000 in profit in their very first month working with us, right? 50 grand in 6 weeks from zero, guys, 17-year-old kid. How can we take somebody who's a part-timer, right? A full-time engineer working on a part-time basis and help them have a $13,000 first month in profit? Help that same person triple their income, get 2 job promotions, a pay raise, right, in their thing, a $30,000 consulting contract that has nothing to do with online marketing. I'm talking about he increased his skills, he increased his leadership, and guess what happened? Just at his regular job, guys, just at his regular job, that he ended up scaling up his income. So over the course of a 9-month period of time, he has almost tripled his income, tripled in a 9-month period of time. That's millionaire mentoring. That's the power of working with people that are real, okay? We don't have to fake what we do because we actually do it. We do it ourselves. So we're going to share with you all the campaigns that we do, and then you can learn how to piggyback off of those stories, piggyback off of our success, and you earn while you learn, right? I believe that's one of the best ways to teach somebody when they're looking over your shoulder. So what we'll do is we show you, how have we gotten the results that we have so far? What was our strategy? How did we actually do what we did, right? So combined with all of our Bitcoin opportunities in crypto, this month, combined between us, we've made over $50,000. How do we do that? Wouldn't you like to be able to learn those secrets that we have personally used to get those type of results? And that's really the important factor. Ari and I, there's 2 different types of leaders, okay, I believe, in the marketplace. There's greed-centered leaders over here, and the only thing that they care about is how much their pockets are getting lined, right? That's all they care about. And they will only showcase other greed-centered leaders, okay? Then there's heart-centered leaders over here, and they show everything. They show all their data, all the results, everything that they're personally doing here. Here's the difference. The success stories that come from a heart-centered leader are average, everyday people, okay? Not big marketing superstars. I'm talking about average, everyday people, single moms, people working on a part-time basis, students that are just graduating from high school, people that were down and out, eviction notice, bankruptcy, that are now over here financially free. That's what the heart-centered leaders focused on. Okay, it's not about lining their own pockets. It's about how many people's lives can they help transform. Okay, and because Ari and I both come from that type of philosophy, that type of mentality, you will see a large number of people, right, that were here, down and out, at the bottom of the bottom, right? Literally their last hope over here, right? People that were had an eviction notice, 2 days with no water, 6 children on the verge of being homeless, and now have made over $19,000 in a 10-week period of time from zero, guys. They didn't go out and spend a ton of money on paid traffic. They learned real skills, real leadership, real value, and they stepped into their power and they stepped into their leadership from what? Piggybacking off of real marketing strategies, real value that they've put out to the marketplace, helping people to solve their pain. That's what we teach, right? Showing somebody that has never marketed before a day in their life how to fast track their career by at least 3 to 5 years. Okay, fast track. We've even helped a homeless person in their 6th month, had a $20,000 month, okay? And 3 years later, they are now the CEO of their own network marketing company. These are real stories, guys. These are real success stories from real people that are just like you, that they have a dream, they have a vision, they want freedom. They want freedom. They've got children, they want to travel, they really want to go for their dreams. And that's what we focus on. So what I would encourage you to do is this. Underneath this video, there's a link. And we always tell people to get back to the person that invited you to this broadcast, because we want them to benefit, right? We're happy to do the mentoring. We're happy to do the value. We're happy to teach and train you everything that you need to know so that you can be free, so that you can walk away from your job in 30 to 90 days, okay? And we don't say that from hype. We say that from results, right? We're results-driven, heart-centered leaders. And that's what I believe is what's going to get you to freedom too, right? So once you find out the formula that we use, it's very easy for you to clone the same type of model so that you can get the same results too. And you can be a heart-centered leader as well, right? So that's it for me. Ari, if you got anything else to add, then we can wrap it up.
Yeah, definitely, man. I want to jump out of here, guys. I want to just tell you real fast because, here's the reality. Like if you look back in time, and you look at the bubbles, the income opportunity bubbles, okay, let's talk about what they were. You look at the gold rush, okay, that was the first big one, made millions and millions of dollars for people, okay? Then guess what happened? The stock market, man, blew up and made millions and millions of dollars. And then all of a sudden in came the dot-com era. Guys, around the world made billions and billions of dollars, in the dot-com era. Look at Mark Cuban. I mean, these guys are household names, guys. Look at Bill Gates. All of these people have made all these massive money riding these swings. And right now we're on to something, and that's cryptocurrency, with Bitcoin leading the way. I'm going to tell you right now, this is something you do not want to miss, okay? Experts have said that it's going to hit $5,000, it's going to hit $10,000, then it's going to hit 500,000, then it's going to hit $1 million for one coin. So just imagine today, if you went out and you were to acquire just 10 Bitcoin, 10, and then it hit $1 million. You'd be worth $10 million, okay? If you don't think that's possible, I'm going to take you back in time. When Bitcoin first began, it was just an idea, okay? It was just an idea, guys. The first transaction took place. A guy traded 10,000 Bitcoins for a Papa John's pizza delivered to his house. About $25 was the cost of that bill. Those Bitcoins actually became worth $2.4 million. That's what the guy made off the transaction. When you look in this industry, you find guys like Roger Ver, who's made $50 million in this business. Okay, I'm telling you now, if you think this is not real, you're missing something huge. Okay, you're either going to sit on the sidelines, just like you did the dot-com or the gold rush or the stock market, and you're going to watch other people get rich off the bubble, or you're going to jump in head first. You're going to ask a lot of questions, and then you're going to do the right things. And that's what Darren and I are here to help you guys do. We want you to do the right things, okay? You're not going to see us out promoting Gladio Coin or Bet Robot or any of these crazy programs. We don't do that, okay? If you can't give me proof of work, show me who the owner is, okay, we're not going to promote those programs. Okay, we're just not, guys. We want to promote quality stuff that we can hang our name onto it, that I can hand down to my kids, that you can hand down to your kids, and maybe even their kids' kids. That's the reality of this business. That's why Darren and I are so big on this stuff. And we want you to know you're in the right place with a group of guys that will actually help you, you know, in every spectrum of the whole situation. Now, Darren has already told you we're going to help you by teaching you guys, you know, what to do and how to do it. We're going to let you copy and paste some of our stuff. But here's the reality, okay? We're going to actually be with you so we can, you know, when you guys need help, if you guys want to do like a little mini meeting with people and you want to plug people in, I'm here. I'll set them up with you all day long. I don't care. That's what I do all day for my team, okay? I want to see you win. So you couldn't be in a better situation than you are right now, right here today, guys. So here's the deal, okay? Somebody invited you here. Don't click on the button unless you're on their link, okay? Get back with that person. Get signed up underneath them, okay? Get plugged into the group, okay? We do training throughout the week, okay? And we're going to keep doing training. We do Super Saturdays and crazy events for 3-4 hours, guys. We do lots of stuff for our team. You're not going to find that anywhere else. I'm just going to tell you, since I was 19, I've been in the network marketing space. 14 years ago, I got full-time into online marketing. I've never seen what Darren and I do ever before, ever. Okay, I had a guy earlier today call me up. You know, one of his buddies, really close friend, said to him, "Hey, I want to join this company, but this guy's over promoting this right now, and I just can't do it." Don't be that guy. Okay, promote ethical stuff. Your people will follow you. That's how it works. Okay, take care of your team. That's what we do. Okay, we want to see you guys win. We want to see you guys make money, but we want to see you do it right and ethically. So at night, when you lay your head down on the pillow, you have no worries on your mind. Okay, so get back with the person that got you here. If you're on one of our pages and we got you here, then feel free to click on the link, guys, and get signed up. But please do me a favor. We got a video in the Cryp Trade Capital Kingdom group on Facebook, Cryp Trade Capital Kingdom group on Facebook, that you need to watch before you actually go through the sign up process. So if you're ready to sign up, you can shoot me a message. I'd be happy to give you that video, or you can actually go into the group and then search for my name, and you'll see that video actually probably towards the top of the timeline in the group, because everybody's tagging everybody that joins on that video. So it's always towards the top. Watch the video, you know, go through everything so you understand it, then get signed up. If you need help buying Bitcoin, I'm happy to help you do that. You know, we'll do whatever it takes to make you successful, whatever it takes, guys. So that's all I got, Darren.
Fantastic, guys. I'm excited for you. Throw your hat over the wall. Get back to the person that invited you to this broadcast. Get activated. Show up for training. Take notes. Apply what we teach. And you can totally change the financial future for both you and your family. Thanks a lot for joining us on this exclusive and private VIP broadcast. Have a great day. All the best.